Why do we hate to love tragedy? It could be a horror movie, true crime docuseries, or a nightmarish painting. We know that it is unsettling, but we keep binge watching it and feel disgusted afterwards. Why do we romanticize macabre? There isn't a single reason but a mnemonic per se. We want to scream for strength, catharsis, reality, exploration, acceptance, and meaning. It is often seen in the art realm that famous artists had tried to quench their anxieties by portraying their monstrous, evil, and dark aspects of life onto canvas. Be it Vincent van Gogh, Francisco Goya, or Edvard Munch. So dark art might scare us, make us anxious, or even haunt us, but we can't keep ourselves away from it. Let's dive into 5 macabre paintings and understand the psychology behind each one of them. Number 1. Saturn Devouring His Son by Francisco Goya. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung says, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of life, but by making the darkness conscious." In 1793, Francisco Goya was diagnosed with a severe illness that left him deaf and immensely impacted his later artworks. Moreover, the political turmoil and Napoleon invading Spain and leading to bloodshed aggravated his line of thoughts, and that was reflected on his canvas. Goya witnessed firsthand the French occupation of Spain and painted the 2nd of May 1808 that represented the widespread rebellion of the common people and sparked the Peninsular War. From this artwork until his death, he painted a wide variety of paintings portraying insanity, mental asylums, witches, satanic figures, religious and political corruption. Yard with Lunatics is one such painting where he portrayed 2 demented inmates caught up in a brawl with their warden for beating them. Witch's Sabbath is another one of the black paintings that portrayed Saturn in the form of a goat growing over a coven of terrified witches. The Dog by Goya shows a dog in distress, literally drowning and lost in the vastness of the rest of the image. Goya's Saturn Devouring His Son tops all list of grim, gory, gruesome and ghastly paintings. Saturn, the demonic figure with protruding eyes, is swallowing the body of his own child. His fear that he would one day be overthrown by one of his own children results in him eating them one by one upon their birth. But did you know that this mural was placed in the dining room of Goya's villa along with other black paintings? Yes, the most disturbing image in Western art was found in his personal space, directly painted on the wall. What makes it even more mysterious is that he left no notes and titles for this artwork. Why? Black paintings were the result of Goya's solitude, physical illness, fear, and hysteria. Number 2. Dante and Virgil by William Adolphe Bouguereau. Trust me, this is one of those ghastly images that you might want to ignore, but you simply can't. Yes, it's that powerful. The artist was a French academic painter. He focused on a wide variety of mythological subjects, giving a modern take with special emphasis on female anatomy. Dawn, Bachant, the abduction of the Psyche and the Nymphanium are few of his notable artworks showcasing nude women. Now coming back to Dante and Virgil, this painting was inspired by a short scene from the Inferno set in the 8th circle of hell, the circle for falsifiers and counterfeiters, where Dante, accompanied by Virgil, watches a fight between 2 damned souls. The attacker Gianni is a fraud who disguises himself as a dead man and savagely bites the neck of the victim and brutally kneels his back. The victim Capaccio is a heretic and alchemist. This was the time when heresy and alchemy were sins and hell was the final destination. Bouguereau has exceptionally captured the Dracula moment, showcasing Gianni's strength, the fluidity of the men's poses, and the shocking expressions of Dante and Virgil. Virgil feels so pukish that he puts a piece of his own garb cloth onto his mouth. Everything in this painting underlines the feeling of horror, a theme to which Bouguereau never again returned. Number 3. Untitled by Zdzislaw Beksinski. Do pardon my Polish pronunciation. Now, he intentionally left his paintings untitled because he believed that art is only to be admired without possibly giving a name or interpretation to it. He believed that at one point meaning is meaningless and deriving symbolism or doing a grand thesis on a piece of art is baseless. Beksinski was a Polish artist who created paintings filled with elements of dystopia, doomsday, and destruction of the world. He in fact burned some of his paintings and artworks in his backyard, claiming it to be so personal and unsatisfactory that he could not want the people to see. In the Nazi era, Beksinski personally encountered anti-Semitism and the mass killings of thousands of Jews. He witnessed the worst of humanity and translated those thoughts on the canvas. It created the black hole in his psyche. This untitled image shows that even after experiencing the worst of humanity, he portrayed love and embrace between a skull couple in the facade of a catastrophic backdrop. Isn't it frighteningly beautiful? Number 4. Massacre of the Innocents by Peter Paul Rubens. There are a plethora of creations around this subject, but Rubens' creation kept me engaged for the longest time. The Massacre of the Innocents depict the ruthless portrayal of infanticide, which according to the Gospel of Matthew was a real incident. The story in the Bible goes like this. Jesus was born during the reign of King Herod. In the Gospel of Matthew, Herod is described as disturbed by the news of Jesus' birth. He perceives Jesus' arrival. A furious Herod then orders the killing of all the boys 2 years and under in Bethlehem. These children are remembered by the church as Holy Innocents. The Feast of the Holy Innocents, observed on December 28 by Western churches and on December 29 by Orthodox churches, speaks a particularly powerful word to this cultural moment. It's a bloody story, out of which hope finds its way to the surface. Number 5. The Face of War by Salvador Dalí. It is for the benefit of mankind to mitigate the horrors of war as much as possible. War has brought no good and will bring no good to humankind. It only leads to loss, suffering, and misery. Dalí's The Face of War is a surrealist representation to condemn war. The snakes are an allegory to terrorists who kill innocent people. The eyes and the mouth are clogged with a group of skulls because that is what ultimately leads to dystopia. Which painting made you the most anxious? Do post your answers in the comments section. If these paintings made you uneasy, I would like to leave you with a beautiful quote to ponder upon. He who fights monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. By Friedrich Nietzsche. If you like our videos, consider donating to us on patreon.com/frame of reference. My sincere thanks to all my active patrons. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos from our channel.